time you heard a bark. Cuddle in your sheets, sang me sound asleep, and sneak out through your kitchen at exactly 1:03. Sundays went to church, and Mondays watched a movie. Soon you'll be alone, sorry that you have to lose me. Too long, don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and down, out of bed.
Don't stay awake for too long, don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed.
Don't stay awake for too long, don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed.
Don't stay awake for too long, don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed. And don't stay awake for too long, don't go to bed.
Yeah. They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. But they ain't got what's running through these veins. Say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. But they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king.
Welcome everyone to the Cancel Show. Bienvenidos, mi gentes, to El Cancel Show. I'm your host, Rashad Dyson.
And I am Manny De La Ghetto. And today we have a special. Oh, well.
Wait, De La Ghetto?
Nah, I don't know.
Are we really doing this?
I'm trying new names out, Max or Powers, Chambers.
Manuel Maximum Effort?
Hey, I like that.
All right,
I like that.
all right.
But we have a returning, how can I say? He goes by so many names. El
Co-host?
Padre, El Chef,
El Chef Jr.?
Junior, or Jay.
El Chefe.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just like I stay in the kitchen, Mr. I stay in the kitchen.
That's right. Cooking up that word and cooking up that work.
Well, we got a returning chef. What's up, buddy?
Thank you for inviting me back.
Oh man, yeah, of course. It was
We had so much demand for you.
yes.
So,
For the people
back.
that are just tuning in, go back to episode. That would be
was it episode 9?
episode 10.
Yeah.
Go back to episode 10. Check that story out, and then come back and listen to this one. But this, he's on there. He had, it was crazy. Plus, we are gonna do another part 2 to this. Not to this, but to that one.
To that one.
So, man, chef.
Left so much on the table.
So much behind the scenes after the mics turned off and we were talking. My jaw dropped, but we'll get that on part 2, man.
Yes.
The return of the chef.
That's right. Also, return of Big Dookie.
Hey,
On the
Dookie's
ones
back.
and twos.
What's up?
So we
Yeah.
appreciate
Some
LP for his service, but we also appreciate Big Dookie.
Yeah,
I
some
appreciate your service.
people were asking about you, Dukes. I'm not gonna lie. They were like, "Hey, where's the other big guy?" They call him the big guy.
I
You
died.
mean Dukes? And like, yeah, we know he's not. Who's
He
Yeah.
died.
Yeah, we
I told
fired
Sammy I
him.
didn't want to do your show anymore
Oh, well,
because your show is too awesome and it's
Yeah, you can't have too much awesome.
you can't. It should
I
be
hear
a
you.
crime.
I hear you. But this is episode 14?
14 already, man.
14.
The time does fly. You guys remember when me and you first started? I know we act like it's already years, right?
I know. Way back in the day, and then the little time
Little-
capsule.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that was last week.
I know. But time goes by so fast, man, that you just like, wow,
Episode 14, False Prophets.
false prophets.
Let's
So
get into it.
let's get
But
a little bit.
first-
Hold on. We'll get into it. How was your week, man? I know we all had crazy stories. Chef, how was your week? Or
Where's your week like?
Oh man, I've been getting these crazy phone calls. Like,
sorry.
First off, there's a difference between a Mexican and a Chicano. Do you know? You know.
what's the difference,
Yeah.
man? For the people who don't know.
For the people that don't know out there, Mexicans would be the ones that came from Mexico that are here in the United States. They're considered Mexicans. Me, I consider myself a Mexican, but they call me Chicano because I was born here in the United States, even though both my parents and all generations are nothing but Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
So, my
So would I
parents.
be a Chicano then?
So because I was born here, yeah. So
Since
I'm
I was
Chicano.
born here, I'm Chicano too, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
yeah. And so,
I can see it.
yeah. And my parents didn't want us to learn Spanish because here in the Fort Worth area at Pasco, back in the day when my mom went to high school, if you spoke Spanish in class, the teachers used to hit you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
It was big time.
I feel like I remember that. I too remember that. Like, I mean, I'm talking about long ago.
Really, when you were in school? Too?
I remember having, her name was Miss Jackson, and she would take him.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
But she would take him in the closet. And I remember her with like a ruler. These are all flashbacks. So.
No, but for real, they used to hit my mom with a ruler.
Yeah?
For speaking Spanish in class. Yeah.
Oh dang.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? I
Wait,
got the opposite.
Why would you hit somebody for speaking a second language when one of the requirements for graduating high school is speaking a second language?
Oh, but they were racist back then, though.
I mean, back then or now? It's still back then. Back then.
Yes.
Back then.
The answer is yes.
It's bad now, but
Yeah.
Right?
so my mom didn't want us to learn Spanish, right?
Right.
And so I didn't learn Spanish. I had to learn it in school. And so, but the little Spanish I did learn from my grandma was like butchered Spanish. It's like, it wasn't the Spanish you learn in school. It wasn't
Right.
good Spanish.
Right.
It was that Mexican
It was
Spanish.
that Mexican Spanish. What they teach in school is Castilian Spanish, which is like from Spain. So
Right.
Inner city Mexico. And so here I am speaking the ghetto Spanish, what I know. And by now, today, I don't even know it. I'm probably a Spanish 1 person.
Right.
You know? Hola, ¿cómo estás? It's the most I can get through.
¿Dónde está el biblioteca?
You guys are not gonna believe this, but when I tell you this, don't laugh at me. I used to copy off of my Asian friend in Spanish class, and that's the only. And that is the only reason why I passed Spanish.
Shout outs to Choo Choo.
And not only that, my teacher was straight up from Mexico, and he goes, "¿Y por qué no sabes, Manuel?" And I'm like, and I would respond in English, "I know Sabo." I'm just like,
I'm a coconut. I'm brown on the.
and he would be so mad at me.
But like,
But-
yo, I know these Wu-Tang lyrics
Yeah.
though.
So I sounded like a literate. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? What does that mean? Like, and he would just look at me, give me a look like, "You dumb motherfucker, boy."
You have offended my family, and you have
So-
offended the Shaolin.
So if it wasn't for her, I know I can admit it now, but I know we took the test and I straight up copy off of her. I would look over and okay, I get, you know.
she's all writing it in Vietnamese. She's like,
Nah,
I can't understand it.
Nah, you know, it's cool that she knew, like, automatically. She knew, like, she would do when we have assignments, she would do the homework. She would be the only one doing the homework. My dumb ass would just copy. So you're not going to let me copy? It's like that? Okay. I see how it is. People. So I thought we were friends, but nah, every day she would take the notes or do the homework or do the work, and I would just copy. I was just so lazy.
Oh no, my Spanish teacher was white, and so he had no accent when he taught Spanish. So I was making fun of him every day I was in class.
Yeah.
It got to the point that he just pointed, "Don't even come into my class. Just go.
Wow.
Just go."
Yeah.
He wouldn't even let me in.
Hey.
So my Spanish even got worse.
Oh, my God.
So
That is
anyways,
crazy.
I got this phone call, and it comes in there, "Hola, yo soy Pablo," and the lady on the other end it's just, "Hey, somebody trying to buy my house," and she can't speak Spanish either, but she's speaking it better than I could.
Yeah.
And she's going, "Yo quiero comprar tu casa." He estaba in Hillsboro, and she's speaking it better than me, and I'm like, "Hold on, ma'am. I really don't speak Spanish, but I understand what you're saying." And she just died laughing. She goes, "You made my day."
Oh, my God.
Because here I am trying to speak it, and I don't speak Spanish that well.
Really? Slow it down. See, I speak Spanish, and, you know, I guess, like, I have an accent to my Spanish. Like, you know, it's
You
always...
have an American accent to your Spanish.
Yeah, I sound so stupid because, like, and, you know, I get more embarrassed when I do it in front of Mexicans. Like, they're like, "Míralo, el no sabo over here." And I'm like, "No, sí te entiendo, lo puedo hablar," pero a lot of the times I'm like, with the because in my head, I'm trying to translate exactly what you're saying. So, and sometimes the words are backwards. You know, Spanish and English, the words are backwards.
Yes, in a sentence.
Because you think in English, you don't think in Spanish.
And I didn't know that. See, and when somebody say, "Hey, dame el hielo," I would be like, what?
Dame.
El yellow, and I'm like, you want
Okay,
you want yellow? Yellow.
Ice.
For,
Okay, right.
Well, no, well, see, look, hold on. You just said ice, right?
Yeah.
I went to this. My dumbass is like, why do you want my shirt? What's going on? Like, this ain't that type of podcast. Like, no, stupid. Dame el yellow ice. For people who don't know, yellow could be in Spanish is yellow or ice. It's ice. So that's what I'm saying. To me, it confuses me a lot. So. Again, that's why I speak with an accent. It's embarrassing sometimes for me because I should know it.
And that's one of the things with our friendship I've always found funny when we're around people that speak Spanish like they're native speakers or Mexican or something like that. Like they'll notice his accent, but when I speak Spanish, I have a Mexican accent.
Yeah.
So they're just like,
something's wrong here.
¿Por qué no negro? Like,
I don't know.
It's like,
Usually by then I know, like, what do you want?
exactly.
And
Like,
I don't like to speak Spanish in front of my mom.
Really?
Oh my gosh! You talk
she
about
judgmental?
Mrs. Correction. No, you don't speak it right. You don't need to speak it.
You know what? I think that's crazy because in my house, with my mom, I'll speak a little bit more Spanish, but not as much. Everybody at the house speaks English. And my mom will respond in Spanish, and we're all speaking back in English. But I mean, it's
a weird thing.
It really is, but she
About
understands
your
it too. But it's crazy. Back then, when I was a kid, my mom's or my brother's dad wouldn't allow us to speak English. So I was, as I grew up, and I just started, all I would listen to is like English. Everybody I know speaks English. No one really speaks Spanish. Unless it's people from, La Nuestra Raza that comes over and they don't know,
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's all English. Like, honestly, English is like the first language, and I wanted to be Spanish, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know how to read or write it. And people, I hate that don't, really? Like, you don't know how to read or write? It's so easy. Well, teach it to me then, Ma. Teach it to me. No, I mean, I learned by myself. You too. It's always like a war with my mom.
But I always thought that's a beautiful thing to speak multiple languages. You know what I mean? Because I'd go, I'd go to his house and Ama, I think Ama barely speaks English with me. She mainly speaks Spanish with me.
Yeah.
And I'll mainly speak Spanish with her back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like everyone else, because it's weird. Like Ama will rarely speak English. But
Yeah.
everyone speaks English to her. You know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like but I think that's a beautiful thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think I've always thought multiple languages is a beautiful thing.
It is.
It's kind of like my youngest daughter. She's mixed, Mexican and black, obviously. Or is it obviously? I don't know. I have to check with the baby mama. But anyway, but one of the things, as she was getting older, she was
Yeah.
having more and more, white friends and
Right.
stuff like that. And so her white friends didn't speak Spanish. And so she kind of stopped wanting me, because I usually would speak Spanish with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I want her to be able to speak both languages. You
Right.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, I'm kind of reinforcing like, hey, look, we're a multicultural family.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a skill. But, after a while, like, as she got older, she was like, well, I don't want to speak Spanish with you anymore. I'm just like, ¿por qué no?
I know what you mean, because a lot of them, again, I don't know what it is. Like, some people are like, they're proud that they don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I never understood that. Like, I don't speak that. Like that's some type of offense or degrading. I'm like, no, that's actually more. It gives you a better edge on stuff. Like, you're able to communicate with more people. You're able to understand more people. And I mean, there's people that don't speak, of course, English that are Spanish, and you're able to translate for them. You're able to help people out. So I never understood that side.
Like my grandmother, my grandmother's family is from Louisiana, so they also spoke French.
Yes.
So my grandmother also spoke French, but she didn't want, my aunts and uncles and my mom, to learn French. And I'm just like,
Really?
that's a loss.
That yeah,
You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
that's something you could have passed down. Then the whole family would have, have learned French and English. You know what I mean? Like, I think learning, I don't know, for some reason, I think the American mindset is like, oh, America, you need to speak English.
No, yeah.
But everywhere else in the world, they're just like, you only know one language? the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, if you go to Japan or China and all that, they put us to shame. Just
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like those guys.
They
They
speak multiple languages.
I saw a show where they said name all the presidents. So they did that here in America. Nobody could name not even 2 presidents, and then they went to Japan. They were able to name all of the motherlovers, and I was like, dang, where did they put us to shame? But
I mean, it's easy. There was Clinton and somebody else, and who
Yeah.
cares?
Hey,
and
shout
then there
out
was
to-
Obama, and then
Obama.
somebody else, and who cares? And then
some light skinned dude. Hey,
and then another old white guy.
shout out to Lawrence Pete, Mr. Lawrence Pete. He's watching. He said, "I was the first." Yes, you were, Mr. Pete.
Shout out, Mr. P.
Dookie, the Chad man is watching. What's up, bro?
What's up, Chad? You beautiful man, you.
You sexy mother lover. But yeah, no, my week was crazy, man. Like right now, before I was coming here, I saw something funny that I thought only my people did, Mexicans.
What's up?
I saw this lady at the back of the truck holding a big grill. Like it was, I don't know if it was.
Oh, so you driving down the highway?
Yeah. I was like before, like. And I was really trying to bring my phone out, and so she's in the back of the truck, and she's holding this thing just like this. Like if you can't see me, I'm gonna just try to describe it. The back of the truck in the what do you call it? The cabinet. She's just holding it. I'm like, oh my god. If
Wait,
this-
is she in the bed of the truck?
the
or
bed
is
of the
she-
truck.
Okay,
The
so
bed
she's
of the
in
truck holding the grill. And she has nothing. There's no straps, nothing tying it down. So this dude hits the brakes, or he just goes too fast. She's gonna fall, like go
She's gonna
flying
fall
off
with
that.
the grill.
But she's really holding for dear life. Like she's holding onto it. And I only saw the back, and I told my brother, "Oh man, I bet they're Mexicans, right?" And no, they were white. I was like, "What? They do that too?" Like, because usually, there's some stuff that we'll be like, "Only my people, man."
Yeah.
But I couldn't stop laughing at that. I was like, "That really did happen just right now." So, other than that, and
That's our peoples, bro. That's our
yeah,
peoples.
yeah, we gotta do better, people. We gotta do better. Yeah,
Do
man.
we though?
We do.
Do we?
Yeah, and then I'm actually waiting for a phone call. Also, man, I might go. I'm trying to get my high school diploma.
Oh, that's what's up, bro.
So anybody out there, man, you're never too old to go back and try to get your diploma. What happened was I didn't drop out. I just didn't pass the math tax test. So for your people, I think everybody has to take an exit exam, right? When you're in high school, the math tax test, I could never pass it because math is just not my thing. I see numbers and my brain shuts down. So I took it at least 3 or 4 times, and finally they have this program where.
By the way, you owe me $50.
Sorry,
I got you, bro.
Thanks.
I've been keeping track of the numbers, bro. I got you.
So there was this program that now they're saying that if you took it, then you might be able to take a TCC course or an OSHA course, and if you pass it, well, when you pass it, you get your high school diploma to the school that you went from, your original high school diploma.
Wow.
So-
Because my son, which remember I told you, the first year I started teaching, I took in a student.
Yeah.
He didn't pass the reading part of the task test. And
Really?
all the principal did was make him write a paper, and they passed him.
Really?
Gave him his
What?
degree.
That's what's up.
I'm dead serious.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I think he gave him a few bucks.
Hey,
Man, I wish-
whatever you get,
I
whatever
wish-
you got to do, right?
I wish they would have done that to me, man. I would have
That's right.
slided it under here's this test, sir.
That's right.
Hey, you get anything for free, OD White.
Right?
So how about what you think I don't pass? So what do you think Ben Franklin says?
Huh? It's $2 bills.
It's like, what do you think of Ben Franklin? He's like,
Go back and do the math.
I'm thinking you didn't pass history because that's George Washington. Okay. Oh.
Okay, well you just talked yourself out of this money.
You took yourself out of this, buddy.
So yeah, man.
$1,000.
but-
That's a $1 bill. So obviously you didn't pass math either.
But yeah, no, I'm waiting for the phone call, see what they say. They got approved by the board first.
That's what's
And
up.
so they're approved, then yeah, I'll be able to. Hopefully, but if not, even if I don't get approved, I made up my mind that I got to go get my GED.
You should.
Yeah.
You're never too late.
But that's everybody. I mean, to me, that's my mentality. Since we started this, the council show, my mentality is to keep moving, keep elevating, keep pushing, no matter your age, no matter what you're going through, push yourself because no one else will. And so, anybody's listening, man, I'm inspiring you. You know, tell me something that you want to do that you haven't been able to do. Let us know.
I'm going back to school.
Yeah?
I'm trying to transfer over to UTA to become a nurse because obviously my teaching career is shot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking, wiping somebody's butt and giving them shots would be great.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, now I know who. If you do become a nurse, now I'll be like, hey, I need to call chef, man. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Other than that, man, let's get started on this topic. So,
Let's go.
best false prophets.
False prophets.
What do we mean when we say false prophets?
I would say false prophets would be someone who is virtue signaling. You know, that's a new term now.
That's
hold
what?
on 1 second. Hold on one
What do
second.
you mean, virtue
Hold up. We gotta start the phone.
What are you talking about?
Please tell me you do not have red and black dragon sunglasses.
It's for a fire conversation, bro.
That's not what that means.
That's exactly what that means.
First of all, Chinese New Year isn't until February, okay? All right?
Oh,
all right.
man.
Shout outs to Jennifer. She got them for me.
Also, the first Avatar movie sucked. So your whole Fire Nation stick is not working, okay?
Hey, Duke, what do you think about my sunglasses, bro?
Bro,
They're fire, right?
no.
No.
Thanks, take them off.
Yeah, they're
I'm
fire.
gonna keep
as
it-
in-
you know what? You guys are being hated. Chef, you agree, right?
I love them. I'd sport them.
Are you serious?
I would.
You can't argue with the pastor.
Give your girlfriend her sunglasses.
But look at what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a cut-off shirt. I mean,
Yeah, but
with
you
a
got a cool
fedora.
hat, though.
Yeah, what the-
Fedoras are cool. Okay?
I walked in. I'm like, who's this thug over here? Exactly. He turned around. It's the pastor. I'm like, oh, pastor, hey.
See, those are cool. Manny looks like a tourist who just hit Hong Kong. Was just like, it's like, yes, I'll take 3 of those.
I love China. I do, by the way. I've always wanted to go there. But
He orders everything from Wish.com.
I mean, seriously.
no, these were gifts. Actually, I'm not gonna spoil it, but someone gets it for me to piss off Rashad because
I don't like this person
Their
anymore.
their favorite segment is Rashad roasting me.
You know, maybe
Or
we need
pissing
a
them
minute
off.
on the clock. Okay, we need a minute on the clock. Okay,
right.
First of all, I understand it's a fire topic, but you don't have to be on fire. Okay, flame on. Okay, that's for the LGBT community,
Oh, my God.
not you. All right.
All right.
Okay, we're not trying to unleash the dragon race system. Okay.
Hey, this goes, little brother.
Yeah.
You good?
Little brother. I
Got
think
a-
I'm good.
Okay. All right, man. Let's get back to the subject.
Wait, hold on. I got one more.
What?
Okay, we get it. You do kung fu. All right, we understand. All right. You don't have
Wu-Tang ain't
you.
nothing to mess with, bro. But
All right. So, back on topic. So, what I say, what I think, false prophets is that's that virtue signaling. That's that you're trying to put out that you have these virtues, that you have this righteousness, quote unquote, but really it's just nothing but judgment and bigotry and everything that's the opposite of virtue. That's what I think. That's what I think false prophet is.
right.
You know what I mean? Because you're trying to be looked at as someone that can prophet is a leader. You know,
Right.
someone who prophesies, someone who has that divine leadership.
Right.
But a false prophet is trying to get all of the awards of a prophet, but with none of the substance. What do y'all think?
No, I agree completely. I mean, right, to me, when we talk about stuff like that, I don't even know. Like, I think me and Rashad were talking, I think yesterday, when, we're talking about, like, when did it become, like, the Christians that, or the so-called Christians, is what I call them, is that they start pointing the finger, oh, you're going to hell, or this and that. Like, well, I think we were saying that you stay in your lane. I think in one of them, I don't read the Bible. No, I'm not going to pretend to be, right? But in one of them, it says, don't judge, right?
Yes.
If I'm correct, don't
In
judge.
in a lot of verses, it says not to judge.
Not to judge or not to, or that's the first thing they do. But
It says, "Do not judge, lest ye be judged."
there
Exactly.
you go.
Yeah.
See, and that's my thing is that, and they're the first one to condemn you. Are you going to hell? Or they're the first one to like, oh, well, look at this guy here. Honestly, your tattoos would be framed upon. They would be like, how is he? But then not talking to you, not even speaking one word, how can you already just like tell that dude like, oh no, he's not he's not fit to be the leader? Well, I mean, who made that? Who makes that choice? Who gives them the authority, the moral authority? You know what I mean?
And you're right. One of the biggest things of a false prophet is he's going to go against the teachings of God that are in the Bible. You know, he's totally opposite. Also, his whole thing is about financial gain, what he can gain, and the scripture says that he's trying to make merchandise of you. Right. So what is it? What is he? He's trying to make money from you. He's trying to get whatever he can out of you for his benefit. That's what a prophet. He's using you. He's using you for whatever he can. And I'm gonna throw some names out there, and some people are gonna hate this.
No.
But one of the names, T.D. Jakes is one. I mean, T.D. Jakes is about his money. If you look at him, millions and millions of dollars. I looked him up, and he's worth $40 million. And on his house alone, his ghost Bentley. Dude, what do you need to be driving a ghost Bentley in your ministry? Is to serve others.
I
don't mean to be judgmental.
No, it's not judging.
You know,
I'm laughing because I'm looking over at Rashad, and I think Rashad has a story, but on the same person you're talking about.
I mean, and I would love to have a ghost Bentley, but at the same time, if I can help somebody else out there,
exactly,
you know, and I could drive a Accord, that looks just as nice on the inside. The new Accords I heard are nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our new Accord drives just as well.
Well, and I
Both
can
of y'all
help.
gonna be stuck in traffic, so what does it matter?
Yeah, and I'm saving how many thousands of dollars on that? You know, Joyce Myers would be another example of that.
Right.
You know, Joe Osteen.
Osteen.
You know, and he's a prime example where he had a building where he could have opened that building to let people in during a flood, but they locked them out and wouldn't let people come in during a flood because they lied and said that their building was flooded. Do you know his building is up on a hill?
Right.
The water
didn't even
close.
come.
Yeah, it
Didn't
wasn't
even crest.
exactly. It wasn't even close to the doors.
Exactly. It was. Some people that like you guys know. I didn't know that. You know, if you again, but to me, it's just like what you said. You have this whole big building. All this, they would open up here, man. We could fit all, everybody here. But that's the thing. Who gave them that authority? Who made these guys we need to follow these guys. These guys are the spiritual authority.
They're preaching. It's called a get rich.
The prosperity gospel.
Prosperity gospel. And they use scripture where scripture says, hey, you're going to be rich. You know, there's certain scriptures that talk about riches, but it's not talking about rich financially.
No.
Okay?
I think that's where people get confused.
They get it. They really do. And remember, we were talking about how people twist scripture.
Yes.
And being rich is, I'm rich because I got a wife that won't cheat on me.
Right.
I don't care if she could be amongst 100 men. She's going to come back to me.
Right.
Okay? I got 4 kids that are healthy.
Right.
I got a place to lay my head. You know what I'm saying? I got food in the refrigerator.
Yes, sir.
That's rich.
That's rich.
Good.
Good friends around you. Good people around you.
That's
good
what we were
family
saying.
around you.
We literally was saying this last night as me and him were having a meeting. We said that, like, we don't need money. Honestly, like, with probably 1 million, 2 million, just enough to be able to pay bills and continue doing traveling and helping people. I think that's it. Anything other than that, I think you're just.
I tell people all the time, whenever the what would you do if you won a lottery kind of thing. Like, bro, once my family is taken care of, I've got to give that money away.
Yes.
Because it would make no sense for me to keep it.
Right.
Like, for what?
Right.
Like, once, my kids, their school is paid for, I've got a decent house or stuff like that. Or, the whole idea, like, once your show is bigger than it is, because our show is steady growing, stuff like that, eventually we're going to, have the option to buy mansions and stuff like that.
That'd be a blessing, man.
Which, is a blessing, but,
yes.
I've talked to this brother, I've talked to my other brother. Like, if I had a 12-bedroom mansion, do you realize how many people would be living with me?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would have everybody living with me. There's
Yes.
no way I would have a 12-bedroom house.
Right.
And I couldn't have my people with me.
Exactly.
Yes.
Bro, it would look like the UN. Like, it literally would look like the UN.
Starting our own little- yeah.
Exactly. Like, I'd have, everybody would have their own rooms. You know what I mean? But there's no way I could be successful and not spread that.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? As opposed to, you know, these preachers and stuff like that, the Joel Osteens and stuff like that. My grandmother used to take her pension check and retirement check and tithe. And I'm just like, you're on a fixed income and you're
Right.
sending money to this church and he's buying private jets?
Yes.
Is that what Jesus would do? I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
No, you're right.
And that's the thing is, the people that are hearing this broadcast, you know, if you're sending money to somebody like this, you got to think about it. Think about what they're doing with the money. Are they honestly helping somebody? Are they doing good for the community? Are they uplifting people that need it, you know, the most? You know, because when God was out there, he was serving the needy, you know, he was feeding people by the thousands, you know. We got stories of the 5,000, the 4,000, the 3,000, you know, of him constantly feeding people.
Feeding people with loaves of bread and
fish.
baskets of fish.
Yes, and he was making it happen, you know.
Right.
And then one of the biggest things, he was telling them, hey, if you're going to follow me, I don't even have a place to lay my head. So he was telling one of the rich guys, I was saying, hey, Lord, I want to follow you. I want to follow you. And he goes, okay, give up all your money. You know what the guy did? He went back to his money and said, I ain't going to follow you.
Exactly.
He didn't want to give up what
Yeah.
it took to follow Jesus.
Well, that's how it is now.
Yes.
If it's not benefiting, then I don't want to follow, you know. And that's sad because I know a lot of people like that. I've been told, you know, I think on the episode you were on, somebody told me to give up all my money. And I'm like, no.
I don't have nothing to give up.
I'm broke
Lord.
as broke as shit. My electricity. No, and I'm not even lying. My electricity was off. My brother here, Rashad, helped me pay the electricity. You know, help my mom. Gave my mom money so we could put the electricity back on that same day. Again, why would I want to give? I'm giving the money where it needs to go. Isn't
Yes.
that, you know, I'm blessing my mother, or he's blessed my mother too. Isn't that like what it's supposed to be about?
That's what
Yes.
you're supposed to do, right?
Yes,
Right?
yes. You take care of home first.
There you go.
And then if you can help the church. Pastor Jack Crane of True Vine here in Fort Worth, he's about that. He'll tell you, look, if y'all can give. If you can't, don't. Take care of your family first.
Ooh, yeah.
Dr. David Bryant here in Pantego, he's the same way. He's like, look, if y'all can give. If you can't, take care of your family first. Pastor McNeil in Pleasant View, another friend of mine, he's the same way. He's like, if you can give. If you can't, take care of your family first, because family comes first.
Right.
Yes.
You know?
I've always thought, well, I don't, maybe I'm wrong, but I've always believed give what you can. Even if it's just a quarter, I'm giving that quarter with my full heart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong or am I?
No,
I don't know
no.
if that's.
Right.
When we were, at one point before I went into a coma, we were church planning. And this little kid came. We had little children, a lot of little children at first with the
Right.
church plant, and eventually their parents started coming. That's how we started our church plant. And this little kid came in with this little change, and he goes, "Here, Pastor, just for the offering, I found this." And I just cried because I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Son, I brought groceries to your house because y'all don't have food in the house."
Right.
And he's coming up with money that he's found on the street just to give it to the church.
Isn't
you
that
know?
bad?
And I
That's
was like,
because he
my
wants to help.
God. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. And trust me, I was always there for that kid.
Yeah.
Always.
And I mean, I know you have tons of stories, but you got time today, and you can tell us. But at the same time, I don't want to put that out there. So, because the Bible, there's different versions of the Bible,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But do you agree that it's been rewritten many times over and over? Is it the same? Does it I think I heard the New Testament versus the Old Testament. So did God change his mind in one of them and said, like, you know what, let's just follow this one? Like, how does?
Okay. The Old Testament, that was before Jesus was born.
Right.
Okay. So that would be the Old Testament. That would be the old law. And the New Testament would be the new law. So
That's what we're living under now.
Yeah.
So we're living under
Right.
now.
Yeah, so we live by the law of liberty. So basically, the old law would be the 10 Commandments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There was all these rules and regulations that we had to follow.
Correct.
Okay. Now, with Jesus being here, though, if we accept him as Christ, then guess what? We're under a law of liberty that no matter what, if we sin, we're still
Right.
going to go to heaven, which is what makes a lot of atheists hate Christians because of that reason. They're like, hey, I'm going to heaven, so I'm going to act like a fool no matter what.
Well, see, and
But that doesn't give you that right to do that.
Okay, well, to clarify that, because I talked to, I'm not going to say names, but I was talking to somebody, and they were just like, they were talking about that. And when I was talking about that, my mom's been through a lot. One day we're going to sit, I want to have my mom up here so she can tell her story.
Ooh, that would be good, bro.
But my mom has been through some stuff where, she wants to probably confront the people that caused harm to her as a kid because she was an orphan. But the thing is that, now they're all about the church. They're all about, God, this, God. They're the hardest Christians. I'm talking about hardcore. But it's like, my question is, are you forgiven for what you've done then? Just because you see what I mean? It's like, now because you're Christian, you're forgiven for everything you've done. So we're just going to forget that you molested somebody at a kid. We're going to forget that you shot a woman a kid in the leg. So that's where I'm conflicted as well. Like, how would you...
I'm glad so you are forgiven by God. Yes,
Right.
you're forgiven. But that doesn't mean you ain't got to pay the consequences here in the world.
Did y'all hear that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So even say I shot Rashad in the leg right now.
It would be justified.
I'm
A lot of people want to shoot that fool right now.
Shot him in the leg because he made me angry. He said
Wait,
something that made
you
me
want to
mad.
do it? Because I can make it look like an accident,
mean-
Pastor.
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know if you're winking at me or are we gonna do this?
So after I
kinda
done
deserve
did that, I'm going to have to pay my consequences. Now, am I going to ask him for forgiveness? And Rashad could sit here and say, you know what, Pastor, it's all right. I understand. You were just angry and you just shot me. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But you asked me for forgiveness and you've been, I asked God for forgiveness. He forgave me about it
Right.
already, because immediately when we ask for forgiveness, it's there.
Right.
But I'm still going to have to pay the consequences for it. You
That's
know what I'm
what I
saying?
mean, yeah.
The officers are going to come here. I'm still going to go to jail.
Right.
That doesn't mean I'm going to get out of jail. What a lot of people think that hey, God, I done ask you for forgiveness. Why am I not getting out of jail? Why aren't you helping me free from this? No, that doesn't mean that you're not going to pay the consequences for what you've done. So those people that have done what they did to your mom,
Yeah.
they still need to pay for what they did.
Thank you. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying. Yeah.
So I don't know what the limitations on molestation or all that
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
is, but I would find out the law, and I think they should still have to pay for what they did.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's, to me, it's just like, you don't get off that easy. I think, and that's what people use
Well, just
religion.
because God forgives you doesn't mean that I do.
Yeah.
That goes to
yeah,
conflicting though.
and he doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't. he doesn't
I mean,
have to.
that's
We
fact. Like, you got to
should.
live in a world
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you go with God, then that's between you and God. But now that when you're here on this earth, you still got to deal with me.
Dale Hewley said, "It's my job to send you to God. So
Exactly.
his job to forgive you. My job is to send you to Him." Just-
And then those
I'm just
people
arranging
that
the meeting.
and those people that hurt your mom, hey,
Yeah.
guess what? They can start a prison ministry.
yeah, exactly.
If they're really
But
healed.
see, and it's just not even that. I mean, I met a lot of people that I had another guy that I guess he got a case, and all of a sudden now he's praising God and just like, well, God this, God that, and I'm just like, no, you committed a crime, buddy. I mean, you gotta pay for your actions, but
Yeah.
that's when everybody wants to turn to God. And I said this to Rashad last night. I said, have you noticed that no one ever goes to God when everything's good? Why is
No,
it?
even that with the guys that I went to war with
Yeah.
in the Marine Corps, dude. Before we went, every one of us partied and had a good time.
Oh yeah.
But when we got off that ship and we was going to Iraq and we were in the desert,
Right.
everybody found God. Everybody knew who God was. We prayed every day,
Yeah.
that we came back alive.
Right.
So, I mean, it's only in the hard times that everybody wants to find him, or know who he is.
Right.
And
Or
you'd be
once you've already
surprised.
fucked up some shit, then you want to try to run to the church. Then you want to try to run to God.
But
Yes.
as soon as everything goes better, that's when you forget about it.
Then yes.
And me and my brother Rashad, we were talking about I think I follow the 10 Commandments. I don't steal. I don't. I'd rather ask you, and he's my witness. I won't even take your quarters because I feel that bad. Judging, I don't judge you. Whatever you do, I might not agree with it. It's your life. I'm not gonna kill. I'm not. I'd rather leave that in someone else's hands. But the thing is that all of those are born with you. Have you noticed that when we're born, kids already know not to lie? they already know how. Oh, they, you know, if he does something, he's already.
They already feel bad for lying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see what I mean?
They
And
already feel
Yeah.
so
bad
we're
for-
born with this.
Yeah, we're born. It's called we're born with a sin nature.
There you
We're
go.
born
But we
with
don't
it.
need a religion to tell me not to be an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
no disrespect, Pastor, but you know, it's a
Yeah.
lot of these people that use that as an excuse. Like, oh, you know, they want to read the what do you call it? The passages out of context. Like, well, it says right here, you have to respect me, and I'm the authority. Well, you as well got to be a good leader, and
Yes.
but read the rest of that. Don't just read here and here.
Yes.
Read the rest of this. What it's saying over here. And
They you know, I call it cherry picking. You know,
Yeah.
they cherry pick verses in order to suit them. You know what I mean? And I think that also ties into, you know, being a false prophet. Like you're not really engaging in the spirituality and the religion of it.
facts.
You know what I mean? Like you want to say, "Oh, I'm a Christian. I follow Jesus." But yet when you walk into the corner store and the homeless dude is like, "Hey man, I just want to get a bag of chips. So you think you can help me out?" Ew. You know what I mean? Just like, again, you do that, and you're wearing a bracelet that says, "What would Jesus do?"
Yes.
I think it's in
feel me?
Matthew 24. It goes, when I was naked, you gave me clothes. When I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was hungry, you gave me food.
Right.
When I was it goes on to give a lot of different examples of this. And then it was a guy who died and went to heaven. And then he goes, he goes, Father, when did I do this? He goes, when you did it unto the least of these, which is when you did it unto the homeless, when you did it unto all these people that needed it, then you did it unto me.
Yeah.
You know, and so God is calling us to minister to anybody. You know, whether it's the widows, the children, the homeless men, you know, the men that are just PTSD messed up in the head, you know, because they've been to Iraq and they saw all that stuff, or
Right.
they've been to war and saw all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they need that ministry.
Right.
You know, God just asks us to be there with each other. You know,
But we don't.
we're not.
We let money, religion, or different religion.
And I think a lot of people are blinded. I mean, not to cut you
No,
off.
no.
But I think a lot of people are blinded to, oh well, I need to give my 10% to the church, and they miss, like, you're supposed to spread love and joy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you're giving your 10%, but yet you've passed 10 people who asked you, "Hey, do you think you could help me get a sandwich?"
Oh no, I don't know. I'm gonna walk right past you. Excuse me.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yep.
what are you really doing?
Yeah.
And those
know
are
what
the
I mean?
kind of people that are recording on Facebook, like, look, I gave this homeless man $20.
Exactly,
Like, good for
bro.
you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
There you go.
Yeah.
like I'm sure.
Unless
Pastor,
there's
you-
something to gain
Right.
from it, then there's no point in
Yeah.
them doing it for them.
I've always said, unless
Yeah.
you got, you need people to come and help you out, or have this is the address. Hey, everybody, come over here. We can all do this together. Then that's different. But a lot of these times, and you can go on Facebook now and
like
they'll be
when
like,
you were feeding the homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah. My whole video was to be able to go into churches to ask people to come and see what it was.
Right.
Because most of the churches were scared to come out there because of, they're like, oh, we're scared of getting hurt, or we're scared of our children coming out there. I'm like, guys, you got me as a Marine. You have, usually when we were serving, we were using the veteran center
Right.
where the veterans homeless were there, and those veterans wouldn't let nothing happen
Nothing.
to nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're along
sworn
with
to
us.
serve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so so we were just, I had to show them the videos. I had to show them what it was like, and I was like, guys, y'all are gonna be safe. Y'all are gonna be. We're only gonna let so many in at a time. They're not gonna overwhelm us, because if you see the video, the line was a block long to
oh yeah,
come.
of course. I mean,
Because we were cooking food from scratch. We were making omelets from scratch,
Yeah.
pancakes from scratch, pork loin from scratch. Anything you name it, I was cooking as a chef
Right.
on grills from scratch. Because I wanted them, if that was my mom, if that was my dad,
There
I
you
would
go.
want them to have a hot meal.
Yeah.
And what was funny was, and no, it's not funny, but there was a family that went with us that they kicked their daughter out because they were on drugs. and their daughter came through the line, and we fed her. And they were like, "Do you know that's my daughter?" And she came up to her. That's my mom and dad. To be like judgmental to their parents.
Yeah.
And their parents were like, "We had to throw her out because she was on drugs. She wouldn't clean up." And I said, "I would have done the same thing if it was my kids. I would not let them around my grandkids with drugs in the house."
No.
I said, "I'm sorry. You did the right thing."
Yeah.
And so the daughter was trying to make me
Right.
be mad at the parents, but there
Right,
was no
nah.
way. I could have felt bad for her.
You have a thing
Because-
what we call common sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a superpower.
You know what I mean? But that maybe that was something that young lady needed to go through.
She did.
You know what I mean? She just needed to.
And they said, you
Tough
can come-
love is tough love. You got to remember while you're being tough to add some love in there. But
Yes.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Tough
Yeah.
love is still it's still an effective thing.
And they were saying she could come home when she cleans up. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anytime, as long as she drops the drugs, she can come back home.
That's fine,
But we
yeah.
can't have it around the grandkids.
And that's understandable. But again, people like that would never understand.
Yeah.
Because they're not in the right place of mind. Again, you can't help the whole world, and I learned that the hard way. You can help, but you can't help the whole
Help
world.
where you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our brother Rashad he can tell you that the people that I've helped, it took a strain on me, man. It took its toll on me.
Wait. How are you helping people? You're not posting on Facebook. You're not putting it on Instagram. Or are you? How are you gonna?
How do people know I'm helping?
How do people know that you're helping? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
I say that to say that me and this brother know that
Yeah.
like each other. You know what I mean? We've seen each other do things that is for individuals, that are for people, that are for the community.
Right.
And we don't use it as a photo op
Nah.
because it's not about likes. It's not about shares.
Yeah.
It's about helping that one person.
Yes.
And that's the thing that with that, our greatest battles are silent. Like you wouldn't even know what I'm going through. And a lot of people I've been told, man, but you don't go through none of that. I said, why? She goes, because you're funny. You're always on. You're always making people laugh. And I'm like, then you have failed as a friend. Because when
Have you ever met Robin? You know who Robin Williams is?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I can actually relate to that, a lot of that, and I know he can
100%.
too. And that's why I always live by that. When people are sad, I make it a point to cheer them up. And he can tell you that I would put on a show and tell joke after joke after joke. And I've done it for him too.
Appreciate
if he's
that
sad,
today.
exactly. We had a big issue. He had an issue he was going through. He called me, but I didn't. Instead of being a sorrow, I tried to keep making him laugh. But again, because I know what that sadness feels like when there's nobody there. That's why I'm a friend.
Have a song for that, actually.
Yeah, and that's why I'm a good friend, because I want someone to be a good friend to me, and he has, and other people like yourself. Where we can share this moment, and like, no, he's with heart. He's coming in with pure heart, because when you do everything with heart, you can go anywhere.
Yes.
See, we fear what we don't understand. When people like, those people you're talking about, well, how many times have you gone out there and helped them? To me, if you're running a church, then what's the point of having a church if you're not going to go out there and meet the people around you?
Yes.
That's our job. That's the job of everybody. I mean, not just the church. That should be everybody.
Yes.
We fear what we don't understand. So if we don't go out there and meet our own people, whether it be good or bad, you can't distinguish which one's the good guy and which one's the bad guy. And that's
Yeah.
but if you go out there, you meet the baddest of the bad, and you establish a connection. Like, hey, man, I got no problem with you, but look, check this out. Like, you lose nothing with coming in here and just talking to me, 10, 15 minutes. And if you don't like it, you can leave. You lose nothing. All I'm asking is for a little bit of your time and just let's talk. What's going on with you? How are you today? How did you get to this situation? But nobody does that. It's all about, that's not our people. I'm like, but they're dividing that. I'm not. I'm willing to reach my hand out. Even if you're, like I said last time, satanic, Islam, I don't care what you are. I could sit down with anybody. And if I had, I was talking to Rashad. I said, what'd you say? Jesus he didn't hang out with, what'd you say?
Jesus didn't hang out with the priest.
Nah, he hung out with who?
The sinners.
The sinners.
Yeah, he hung out with every.
So,
He hung out with everybody else. The tax collectors, the thugs, the gamblers.
And if you really read the Bible, I mean, when he was crucified on the cross, for 3 days he was preaching down in hell to everybody that was down there for why they were down there, explaining to them. That's how much he loves that he's still down there explaining to them while you're down there.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I explained to y'all what y'all needed to do, and this is why you're here.
Right.
Before he came back,
Exactly.
And so, I mean, he's all about trying to get people to go to heaven. Now, one of the biggest things is like atheists that I know we were going to also try to get somebody here that was atheist.
I wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, so much. One of the things is that they say so much is, well, a God of love, why does he let so much destruction, war, COVID,
Right,
be
right,
one of the
right,
big
right.
things of happening around? Well, he is a God of love. But we try to put God in a human perspective that all this bad stuff that's happening is not him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? War, he didn't create war. Who created war? Us.
That was
Man.
That's us. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
God
Get
just
it,
gave us
Chef,
the
get
freedom
it.
Yeah,
to do
so
that.
all this stuff that people say, why does God allow it to happen? Because we're doing it.
Right.
Not him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He lets us have our own devices.
Free will.
Free will.
Because if not, and I talked to somebody because they were like, well, this is not. I'm like, well, because what they say? They were saying something. I'm like, well, with that being said, then that means you have no free will. You know what I mean? I'm like that. To me, humans need to rationalize everything, just like dogs. Like, oh, he thinks he's a human. No, dumbass, he's a dog.
Like if God came down and was like, okay, I'm going to fix climate change. I'm going to fix all war. I'm going to fix, then free will goes out the window.
It does.
I mean, really? I mean,
Damn, son.
I mean, sure, are there influences here and there?
Yeah.
Of course. You know what I mean? Are there miracles here and there? Yes, of course. But we have our own free will. Prime example. Manny, you'll remember this. A couple years ago, me and Manny were at this party at I think it was a boxing match at the time. It was a boxing match. So we're mid party. We're the McCormick boys at the time. So we're drinking all that kind of stuff, right? And
Still, son.
you know what I mean? So, we're doing our party thing or whatever, and I'm out on the balcony, and I see a guy pushing a vehicle.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I
forgot
tell my
about
man, I said, hey, I got to go. I'll be right back.
Hold my drink. I'll be right back.
Exactly.
Bitch, what? I looked over. What? Where are you going? This fucker jumped like he's Spider-Man off the damn balcony. I'm like, oh, you fake-ass Peter Parker. Where you going?
Exactly. I think we're like second floor or something like that.
Second floor, but he was the only one that saw that because no one else. We were too intoxicated, too stupid to even look over there. He's the only one that looked over. He goes, that man's in trouble. I said, nah, bro, he's fine. Shut up. Now hold my beer.
Hold my beer. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
So I ran down there. I think you ended up following me too.
Yeah.
Because he's a dumbass. If I do something stupid, he follows me.
That's what true friends do.
But anyway, so we ran down there. Ended up helping him push his car to the parking lot. Turns out he was on his way. He just got off work, was on his way home.
Right.
When his car
Just gave out of nowhere.
just gave out of nowhere. So luckily he lived close by, and he was just like, man, thank you so much. I didn't know how I was gonna get this car home. He'd actually already pushed it like. He'd already pushed it like a block, like up the hill, and he had like another 3 blocks left to go.
Yeah.
So, but I said all that to say that's what we're supposed to do.
Yes.
That wasn't a hey, these guys are great and wonderful and special, and no, it's what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's like that's why it wasn't a big deal. It took all of 15 minutes, and we went right back to the party and started drinking again.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. As a matter of fact, we got so drunk that night.
Exactly.
But
but that's
what we're supposed to do.
what
And we
we're
always say
supposed
that.
to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always said that. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's why my way of teaching, when my students do something, I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, I'm not going to reward you for something you should be doing. Like, you know, when people, perfect example, when people say, I take care of my kids, you're supposed to do that.
Supposed to take care.
There's no,
Kick his
like,
rock.
yeah, definitely. That, I mean, again, still, you're supposed to do that. Well, I don't go to jail. You're supposed not to go to jail, dumbass. You're supposed to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with that being said, you know, and with that being said, it's just that simple stuff like that, it's only glorified when you don't see it enough. Like, we should be teaching
Everyone
that.
should be doing that.
Yeah.
You should, but that's like
Or should it?
Scripture also says, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing.
Right.
You're not supposed to be bragging about it when you do it.
There you go.
Know,
There you
do
go.
it just to do it.
Right.
You know,
No,
there was
right.
many a times when me and my wife, we were in college, and both at the same time, we weren't making any money, and so I was doing side jobs. A little old lady got word of us, and so we did some work for her. She referred us to another little old lady. Well, this little old lady had no money. She had $20, and she had plumbing issues like crazy. In fact, it was so bad that she was pooping and peeing in her tub.
Ooh.
And I was like, ma'am, because I was like, I got to use the restroom. She goes, you got to use my tub. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, you got to use my tub.
Wait, what?
And I was like, why? She goes, because my toilet hasn't worked or nothing in years, and my son hasn't come and helped me, and he's just leaving. I said, it'll be fixed by the time I leave. So her $20 that she gave me just went to fixing her toilet. You know, I didn't
Wow.
even charge her more, because I was like, she didn't even have $20 to pay me, you know, barely to fix her other sink problem that was
That's
going on.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, ma'am, now your toilet works, so don't worry about anything. We left.
Yeah. I think someone had a story like that, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I forgot about that.
Wow, yeah, when he was telling the story, I was like, well, it's your story.
I forgot about that. What was it this week? I think it was yesterday. As a matter of fact, it was yesterday. So I'm in the line about to pay my rent in my apartment, and the lady right in front of me is trying to talk to the clerk, and she's like, you know, I'm kind of over here, and she's like, hey, you know, my toilet's not working. Can I get somebody out there? And the clerk is like, well, maintenance already left for the day, so you're just gonna have to wait till tomorrow. She's like, well, but my toilet's not working. She's like, well, you can get a bucket of water and, you know, pour the water in there. And I'm just like, what the hell? So, you know, I'm listening to the description, and so funny thing is, I spent about a year or so. Mm-hmm. I spent about a year or so doing apartment maintenance. So when she's describing the problem, I'm just like, oh, that's a float bowl. She probably just needs either a new chain or a new cup, or I could probably just fix that. So, you know, first I was like, I could probably fix that, but oh well. But then something was just like, no, you need to say something. You need to at least offer. I was like, okay, fine. So then I'm just like, hey, ma'am, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, get all in your business, stuff like that. But I heard that you are having toilet problems, but it seems like it's probably your float bowl. I have my tools. I could probably fix it in about 10, 15 minutes, if that's okay with you. She was like, you can? I was like, yeah, I used to do apartment maintenance. She was like, yeah, sure. I was like, all right, well, let me pay my rent, and then I'll walk with you. So, follow this lady to the apartment. It was exactly what I thought it was. Fix it right quick. Bada bing, bada boom. She got to fix the toilet. She's
Right.
like, oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I say what I normally say whenever I help someone. I was like, hey, you don't need to pay me back. One of these days, someone's going to need help. Help them. That's all I
Yeah,
mean.
pay it forward.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I have been helped so many. You know, I'm a fairly big dude, so I haven't missed a meal. I've
Yeah.
slept indoors most of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
you know, I've had, you know, family and friends and stuff like that. So I've had, you know, my needs met for the majority of my life. So,
Right.
you know, it's all come around.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I found it kind of interesting because I used to do apartment maintenance, and I just happened to have the skill set for what was needed.
Well, everything happens for a reason, man. But pause on that. We got to go on break right quick. I think
Okay.
Dookie's pick of the day. Dukes.
I changed it because whenever y'all talking, I ain't got a song in my head, so I had to change it.
Is it Britney Spears?
No, It was two funny songs, but one's a serious song, one's a funny song.
Oh, it's fine. It's Duke's pick of the day. Whatever you want.
All right,
Pick
here
of
we
the
go.
day.
Britney Spears or Tay Tay.
His footprints are fading away from the beach. We're not a family to pray or to preach, but daddy's best friend took a handful of pills and now he's at a podium making a speech. Yesterday night after dark, he carefully wrote his remarks, but everyone said what he put on his page, so he threw it away and went straight from the heart. I thought this was a party, but all my friends are leaving, and I still wanna play. Whoa, whoa. You wrecked me when you stepped out, 'cause you're the wounded healer, and you're supposed to stay. Whoa, whoa. A year's a bottle in a bucket of trash. It'll tip over the more that it stacks. Didn't notice it till now, but dad's been moving slower every time we go play catch. I'm scared of the day when he'll carry a cane. I carry his dream, I carry his name. And when Papa's gone, he will never be gone, because the sound of our sneeze is the same. So God bless, I hear your voice in mine, and I wanna stop time like a carnival ride, because I don't know what I'm saying, but I mean it. I don't know what I'm saying, but I mean it. I don't know what I'm saying, but I mean it. I don't know what I'm saying, but I mean it. I mean it. So I thought this was a party. I thought this was a party, but all my friends are leaving, and I still wanna play. Whoa, whoa. You wrecked me when you stepped out, 'cause you're the wounded healer, and you're supposed to stay. Whoa, whoa.
俺を返せ。さもないと後悔するぞ。お前一人に一体何ができる？誰が一人だと言った？
You should know that a man with the power of nature can bring you to the end of your life. And you should know by my smile and the look in my eyes that you are about to be massively forced to give up. Chicken attack, chicken attack. What you want back before it fades to black. Say my love come, let's pretend we're not chicken ass. Go chicken go, go chicken go. Now gonna fly, you on the sky. With the power of nature, you're never alone, and you can't live alone, man. Every beast, every tree follows me to the end, and you're about to be massively touched. Chicken attack, chicken attack. What you are back before it fades to black. Say my love come, let's pretend we're not chicken ass. Go chicken go, go chicken go. Now gonna fly, you on the sky. You're young and you're hungry, perhaps so money. I give you this chicken today. It's eggs for your dinner, it's legs for next winter. You won't have to steal again.
なんて慈悲深い方だ。あなたは全ての動物を操られるんですか？
全ての動物が操れるけど鶏が一番なんだ。
助けて助けて、僕の兄が富士見で銀行強盗に巻き込まれたんです。
大丈夫だ、心配するな。
Yo, welcome back. Oh my God! By the way, love the song. I didn't know what they were saying, but I'm pretty sure I heard it at the PF Chang somewhere.
Bro, it's a classic.
It's classic. Okay. What were they saying?
Chicken Attack.
That is the name of the song, Chicken Attack.
Chicken Attack.
Are you serious? I thought he was being funny.
It's a classic, bro.
Oh my God! Only you. Oh.
You have Gundam Style and then Chicken Attack right underneath.
I gotta watch the video, but Gundam Style is a classic. Shout out to the homie.
It's a yodeling Chinese man.
Open Gundam Style.
The Gundam Style. I got that when he was hitting, everybody hit me up. Bro, can you just wear the glasses and show up to my party? I'm like, I'm not him.
You are though.
Just show up and be like, hey, sexy ladies. And Gundam Style.
I love when the Asian lady was just doing this. She was just rocking back and forth on beat, but much love. But yes, right. So
welcome back.
Welcome back. We're talking about false prophets. For everybody that we've been, Pastor Chef has been here with us. And you know what I find funny though, Pastor?
I think you should go by that. I like Pastor Chef.
Well, no, me and Rashad we changed the name to Pastor. It's El Padre.
El Padre.
Yeah, the whole time, this whole week, he'll be like, hey, if you text El Padre, or hey, we got to hit up El Padre.
No. El Padre.
El Padre.
There you go.
Hey, honey, if you're listening, El Padre. Call me in bed now.
She's all like,
another name.
Another. No, you know what's crazy that I was talking to Rashad that I said, you know what's funny that we made friends with the most random, you're not random, but to who we are compared to hang out with the pastor and have like a first name, like we're so cool that, we got to have you back on and you being friends with us, like legit, like straight up, friends.
Yes.
Who would think that would happen? Because, again, it goes back to people being so religious. They'd be like, well, I wouldn't hang out with you guys. You guys do this. You guys are sinners. You guys do that. But here you are, one cool cat, and you're hanging out with us, and we're getting along just fine. So far, we probably do disagree on a lot of things, but there's still the mutual respect. The whole, hey, I respect what you're doing. I think me and you represent the same thing, as in the aspect of us three. I'm sorry, represent the same thing in helping the people, doing it with heart. Not letting a religion divide us, or just that alone. Even if you believe what you believe, hey, it's fine. You still have a place at the table. Sit down and eat with us.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's all of us. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That you being who you are in your man of faith and El Padre, and then me and Rashad's dumbasses, we're here talking about cussing, talking about all the stuff that we do, but yet here you are being our good friend, man. It's crazy. To me, it's mind-blowing. Like, when people say, like, oh, man, y'all gonna go to hell. I'm like, oh, yeah? Well, El Padre says different. He's on our side.
That's how it's supposed to be, isn't it?
But those pastors that are like that and people that are like that are just being judgmental, like y'all said it, and Tupac said it best, my buddy up there. Only God can judge me.
Hey,
right?
Hey, quick, though. Shout out to my boy George, Jesse, Jennifer, Junior. Hey, El Padre is watching. My mom, Rafael Morales. My mom, hey, Ma. And Mandy Ramirez. I'm sorry. No way. Not another name. It's going to stick, El Padre.
Yeah, I told you.
Hold on. Rashad, do the voice. What'd you say?
El Padre.
Pastor love that one, but it's going to stick.
It's going to stick.
It's going to stick. But yes, I mean, yeah, I think that you being able to sit down and know, confident in who you are, to be able to sit down with us, it says a lot about you. Because, I mean, how can I say this respectfully? I think when you don't know what the hell you're talking about, and you get mad, if I were to say, well, when I brought up the Bible, I brought it up on purpose. I just wanted to see what you were, you would have been like, well, no, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you can't sit here and have a conversation and you get mad, then you shouldn't speak at all.
Exactly.
I mean, this is somebody talking about martial arts to me, and they said, well, Kung Fu wouldn't work in a real fight. Well, you might be right. I mean, there's so many.
It depends on the situation.
It depends who your teachers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? My teacher taught me how to use it for real. How did he teach me? By whooping my ass for real. So
Yeah.
you know what I
For real,
mean?
for real.
And then, like in the
shout out
Marine
to
Corps,
Teach.
we learn jujitsu, and then we learn moves that we're supposed to kill somebody in 10 seconds. You know, because it's not for self-defense; it's to kill somebody.
Right.
You know, and move on to the next person. You know, so yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, Grandmaster Scott. He said, "Hey, nephew, I'm here from Botswana.
Botswana.
Shout out to Africa. Hey, Grandmaster, how are you? Much love to you on there. They're watching us in Africa right now.
All right.
Yeah. So,
Hey, do you think they get us in Wakanda? Wakanda, whatever.
well, yeah, no, and that, and that's what I'm saying is that when you are confident in who you are and what you know, and it's here in art, you can go anywhere. Like I said, when he said, and you know, he's always said that to me. He says Jesus wasn't hanging out with the pretty boys; he was hanging out with the goons.
Yes.
Bro,
And
and I'm sure, Pastor, you're deep in the Bible, so you understand that the famous 12 disciples weren't the goody two shoes priests that that they try to paint them out to.
You mean
the
to tell
12
me-
disciples were about that life.
They were teenagers. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
they
that
were
at all.
Yeah, they were teenagers.
Yeah.
But they weren't wearing Gucci loafers and
No.
No,
Gucci
they were-
belts.
I'll tell you one of my favorite stories about the 12 disciples. I know you probably know this one. Is when Jesus was chilling up on the mountain one time, and then he had a visitor come around, and I think it was Saul? I think it was Saul. And so, but he approached too quickly, and I think it was Saul or one of the disciples pulled out a sword and almost cut his ear off. And because he approached too quickly,
Right.
because the disciples were protective of Jesus.
It was in the Garden of Gethsemane, and
Yeah.
they were coming to get him to put him on the cross.
Yeah.
And it was Paul. Oh no, Peter that cut
Was
off
it was
the
Peter?
ear.
Yeah,
Peter
yeah.
cut off
And
his
Jesus
ear.
had to
Yeah.
like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the disciples were about that life.
Straight up, just
You
like
know what I mean? So, so if Jesus was comfortable having those people around him,
right.
how come Joel Osteen can't come to Oak Cliff?
Because he's not about that life, son. Straight up.
Yeah.
You feel me?
When I was doing the homeless ministry,
Yeah.
my beard was down to here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. I got my beard
So
was
you,
down
so
to
you had
here.
the ZZ Top beard.
Yeah,
I was gonna- yeah.
bald. It was down to here.
That dynasty looking
and
so.
I'd go out there in sweats because it'd be like, I mean, I'm not gonna ruin my good clothes while I'm outside cooking and stuff. I mean, I'm cooking. It's gonna be whatever I ruin.
Right.
And so I go out there, and I take my son to the bathroom, which is all the way in the front of the park, and we were cooking all the way in the back of the park. So
Right.
so basically, it's the front of the line to the back of the line.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're stopping me, and they're like, hey, stop cutting. You need to get back in line. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm the chef. I'm up here cooking for you.
Yeah.
You know, I just told my wife what happened, and she was just laughing. I was like, see, that goes to show
Yeah.
that I fit in with them.
Ah.
So when I fit in with them, then that means I can have a conversation with them.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I come out here with a suit and tie, they're not going to talk to me because, I'm not out here for them. But if I'm out here dressed like them, I look
Right.
like them, I'm talking to them.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I'm just not out there for, just for a weekend or just
Yeah.
for one time. Those people that come out there, they know who they are.
Right.
And they don't want to talk to them because they're like, oh, yeah, you're just going to be here one time. And you're just going to go and not come
You're
back.
just here for the photo op.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
What do
yeah.
you think? They would have done that to Jesus too. Oh, you're just out here for one time. If we would have been dressed up like the Pharisees,
Exactly.
Ooh.
you know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah.
And the Pharisees were dressed up in the purple robes, all the nice suits and stuff like
Exactly.
Yeah. The
You know
suits
what I'm
is what I
saying?
call
And all
them.
the priestly
yeah.
robes and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
no, Jesus was
that. Dressed
that's-
like a common man.
He was
Yeah.
amongst the peoples.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the things that when Christians that was another thing. So me and my brother, we were talking because we talked about the show before that one of the quotes of John Stewart, he said that religion is a good thing that man made bad. You know what I mean? So, the Christian principles, the Beatitudes, you know what I mean? Those sort of things are a good thing, but the institution of Christianity, the religion of Christianity was made bad by, prosperity gospels, by, the false prophets where you have, the Catholics consider themselves Christians, yet they're moving around priests who are abusing their flock.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it all the way real.
Right.
Like, is that a Christian organization? In name only.
I got to defend this. Okay, so there is a difference between religion and Christianity. Okay, there is a difference. Religion would be like Catholic, Baptist,
Right.
Presbyterian, Lutheran, Methodist, Buddhism. Those are religions.
Right.
Okay. Now, Christianity would be someone that believes that Jesus Christ died on the cross and rose from the dead. Okay, and that he is God. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, that is Christianity. So that is much different than religion. Now, there are some people, that are headstrong to say, hey, Catholics are not going to heaven. That's bull, because my grandmother is in heaven, and I believe that today because she believed in Jesus Christ as her Savior to the day she died.
Right.
And she was Catholic. And I was raised Catholic. But
So was
then,
I.
yeah, I was raised Catholic. But
Yeah.
then my mom was Baptist, so I started going to the Baptist church, and then I went to a Baptist college. And so then I've started becoming an independent fundamentalist Baptist, which means it's just independent. It's not from like Southern Baptist or different dependent Baptists. It's just independent. It's by itself. And then fundamentalist means it's about the basics of the Bible.
It's about the basics.
Right.
Yeah, the basics of the Bible, Baptists. And so, and then Baptists believing in the baptism of, you have to be baptized after you're saved.
Right.
That means actually sunk in the water, not sprinkled.
Yeah.
Like we were in the
Not-
church.
not no
Actually
christening.
dunked like Jesus was,
Exactly.
and everybody
in
else
the water
in there.
and come right back out.
Yeah, my wife, I tried to hold her down a little bit when I was
Well,
baptized.
Don't be you're trying to get payback. Oh, Padre is back.
Yeah.
There are different ways to be divorced than okay, all right.
Hey, he's going the old ways, baby. He's going the old ways.
Old school. Okay, I can
How
respect
she was
that.
feeling with the Holy Ghost. She started shaking.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
That's the spirit. That's the demon. We got to get the demon out you, baby. We got to get the demon out you.
No, I wanted to ask you this, Padre. When does it become a cult? Because to me, a lot of these people, again,
It does seem like
it does. I mean, and that's the thing. When I say that, people don't really seem to give me a straight answer.
Okay, a cult actually because they don't want to be called out, because then then if they actually say it, or bring it out, then they're gonna be shunned. Like me, if I
Right.
say, okay, Mormons are cult, because they actually teach against Christianity. They don't teach that Jesus Christ was a savior. They say he's a prophet.
Right.
They totally go against what the Bible says, and they have their own Bible. Okay.
Right.
Now, the Catholic Bible and the Baptist Bible is almost exactly the same, except the Catholic Bible has the Apocrypha in it. Apocrypha.
What?
Apocrypha.
I have to say
And
that.
what it is this history book. It's a history.
There's Tupac and then Apocrypha.
That's
you, bro.
Tupac.
I got you. I got you.
No, the Apocrypha. But the old King James Version, which the Baptists used to have it in there too.
Right.
They took it out, So basically the Catholic Bible and the Baptist Bible was the same at one time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
At one time.
At one time. I mean, they just figured that, hey, it's not important, it's history, but
There you go.
guess what? It is important.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff that we need to go back to refer to that answers a lot of questions about the Bible. So I mean, I don't know why we took it out, but it's history.
Well, yeah.
It's because they say certain books are inspired and certain ones aren't, It's just a debate.
But see,
You know,
isn't
that's
that
when it becomes religious.
well? See, isn't that when they change it? Isn't that changing to their narratives to fit their agenda? That's the way I look at it. When someone does that, to me, it's just like, oh well. I don't know what you say. We should know the whole history.
It's we need to know the whole history, and there's a lot of stuff that we don't have. Like there's scrolls and stuff that I mean, like the Jewish religion would know it, and actually the scrolls that the Jewish have that we don't even have in none of our Bibles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yet they don't even believe in Christ as a Savior. They believe him as a
Actually,
as a prophet.
Actually, I had a conversation. Shout out to my boy Tony B. Tony B. Awesome. And actually, we wanted him up here, but it was last minute notice. But the thing was this, and I want to ask you this: do I need all that? Can we deal? Well, I spoke for you guys. Can we deal without all that and just agree that let's not be assholes?
Yeah.
We don't need to be like, I don't need, honestly, no disrespect. El Padre, don't send me to hell. Put a good word.
Don't worry, bro. You're already gone. I'll meet you there. Don't worry, I got you, bro.
But my thing is this, that we don't need scriptures. Because I said it earlier, I feel like we were born with the 10 Commandments on automatically, right?
Don't lie, don't steal.
Don't steal, exactly.
Don't
As
murder.
kids, we know that. And even if you go to a kid and he knows that. But the thing is that we all agree on something different, correct? We don't believe the same thing.
Right.
But what he just, he said it earlier was like, what if I just help you out? Should it matter that if your car busted down and we see you struggling pushing up the hill and he goes, you know what, let's go help him out. Nah, bro, I can't help him. He's Muslim. So what?
Who cares? Yeah.
It doesn't take nothing from you. It doesn't make you more. It doesn't make you less. All I see is instead of saying that man needs help, let's help him out.
Okay, let me give you an example.
Please.
You got a car, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a car.
Nah, okay.
R.I.P. Angel.
That was the name of my car.
You had a car, okay? So you had a car.
Thanks, Padre.
That was gonna work so good too.
Right.
I'm glad I chose.
I'm laughing because you love. He goes, bro.
Okay, we have cars, right?
Right.
And with those cars, they come with handbooks, right?
Right.
And if you would have read your handbook, you'd still have a car that was running, right? Because you'd know how to fix it.
Ooh, I didn't think of that. No.
Right?
Right.
The Bible is a handbook on how to live our lives. We need that handbook because it helps us through things like divorces,
that's another topic.
Yeah, broken hearts,
I can relate to that. All right, that's it. I gotta go.
It helps us through marriages, through children disobeying. It'll help us through deaths. It has the answers to those things. It's a love letter from God to us, and it has all these answers that when we're looking to give an answer to someone we care about that's going through these problems, it's written in that book, okay, on how to comfort somebody to go through these things.
Right.
So do we need scriptures? Yes. Because we're not always going to have the answers, but guess what? In that book, we're going to have the right answer.
Right.
Instead of giving our answer.
So here's a question. All right. Is the Bible the written word of God or the inspired word of God?
Damn, that was good, bro.
What do you think?
It is, to me, both the inspired written word of God.
Right.
The inspired written word of God.
Right.
Because it was inspired and it was written down for us to have. Yes. Inspired written word of God is the right way to say it.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So I had this concept. Right?
And I'm sorry, this is the last thing. You do need the Old Testament to interpret the New Testament.
Right.
Okay. A lot of people nowadays, and some preachers do this. Oh, you don't need the Old Testament. That's old stuff. That's bullcrap. Because the Revelations, it's all written in riddles. Like it's like written in stuff that if you read. Like Revelations, I can't remember if it's Revelations chapter 3. It describes a rainbow and a crown and somebody sitting on the throne. And if you read the Old Testament, it's talking about that is Jesus. So you need it to be able to interpret some of the scriptures in there. Yes.
Yeah, because the rainbow after the flood, the
it was a
rainbow
Is a covenant.
was yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that, and you know what? And shout out
You
to
didn't know that, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know
shout
that.
out to Sibaki. He's the one that, again, the reason I know the spirituality is because I had one martial art teacher. He would take the word of God and involve it in kung fu, and that was the way he was able to reach to me. And with that, again, when he taught me, because that's actually his teacher
Shout
too.
out to Divine Fist.
Yeah. After my teacher gave up teaching because he stopped teaching,
Yeah.
I fell under Master Cassius, which is and Master Cassius had to move away, and I guess had to create his
Yeah, do
life
his
and
thing,
work
yeah.
job and all that. So I had to go under the third teacher. The third teacher is the one that taught me the spirituality.
Yeah,
and that's
that was my teacher. I went from Teach. Once Teach retired, I think I was under Cassius, and then once I actually moved to the same apartment complex with Sibak E. That's who I did maintenance with. Why does every kung fu dude do maintenance?
I don't know, but it's crazy.
But apparently they do.
Mr. Miyagi.
Mr.
No,
Miyagi,
and we would laugh about that.
E,
Yeah, we would.
Cassius, all of them are.
We would laugh
Yeah,
about
even
it. Like,
even JoJo for a while
Yeah.
was a maintenance dude, and he was one of our kung fu brothers. But yeah, to make a fast story skinny, that's what ended up happening is that E ended up teaching us both, and E, a very spiritual man, combined, the lessons of Christianity and the Bible into kung fu to make it relate to us.
yeah. And I actually I'm just thinking about it now. I want to do an episode with him here and you here too, so you can see what we're talking about, because he incorporated it so well that I was able to understand it in the martial art terms. And ever since that, I have used that as one of my cornerstones in teaching. Like, hey, the world we're fighting is not all physical, because that's what I was good at. He can tell you I'm good at just training. I can train, and even today I train in the morning, train in the evening. That's all I know, and I'm good at punching. I can punch through you, but it's unbalanced when you have too much physical and not enough spirituality, and that's what I was missing. It's the spiritual side. But then when you get involved in the spiritual side, you understand that I'm not mad at the physical. I'm more mad at the spirit, what you're feeling, that energy. Once you start learning and understanding that, you're just, wow, you see the world for what it is. And if you know, you know. If you don't, then,
So I asked you about whether the Bible was the written word of God or the inspired word of God, because in my studies and stuff like that I've kind of gone through, if you take the literal wordage of some of the things in the Bible, it doesn't necessarily, I don't think, come off. It doesn't come off directly, but I think the spirit of it, or the essence of what is said, you know what I mean, is I guess would be more pertinent. You know what I mean? Because you could look in the Old Testament was crazy, but by the way, if anybody look up the Old Testament, there's some crazy stuff in there.
Yes, there is. There's dinosaurs. There's everything.
Yeah, there's crazy stuff in there. And some of the laws that they had to follow in order to be, good servants of the God are kind of crazy. But so if you take it as a literal, like, hey, if your brother dies, you have to take his wife. That sort of thing. Yeah, that's in there.
Old law.
That's old law. But if you take that like literal, like, oh wait, that's kind of crazy. But if you take the essence of it, like, hey, if your brother dies, then his wife is still family, and you need to take care of your brother's family.
That makes more sense.
Essence makes sense. You know what I mean? Like the lessons of both the Old and the New Testament, of the entire Bible, I think that the lessons are there. The essence of it is, I believe that's the godly part. But the literal word for word, I don't think I think that's kind of man-made. Does that make sense?
There's
You see what I'm saying? You see
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get at? What do you think?
it's written in a different language. For instance, like the best way I can say this is like love in that language. There's 3 different types of love,
Right.
agape, phileo, and
Agape.
phileo, and I can't remember the other one.
I
But
know which
there's
one. I know which one. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's
Agape, phileo, and I know I'm gonna be reamed by this, Pastor Bryant, if you're watching this.
Sorry.
Is it Eros?
Arrows.
Arrows,
Yeah. So there's three of them, and they
Learn
all
your
mean
Latin.
different. And that's just the language that it was written into, translated into our language is much different.
Right.
And it's harder to do that. So yeah, it's gonna little bit off, little bit, not much.
But the
And
essence
but also, like, the word is inspired. So like, if we read a passage, it's going to mean different to me at that moment than it is to you and to you, because
Right.
we're going through different things at the
There you
moment of
go.
our life. You know, I may be going through a death, you may be going through something, you may be going through something, or you just lost a job, or you just,
No, you said it all right.
you know.
I'm actually, we're
Huh?
going through all 3 of those. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We're going, everything.
Literally
you said.
going through
Yeah.
all of that right
yeah,
now.
and so all this stuff, and we're going through that same passage, and it's just hitting us, boom, 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 and it's like, oh man, God, you're speaking to me. You know, and it's like we leave that whole thing.
I have
and-
always said that, yeah.
and we heard the same verses,
it's
and
just
it's like
different
just
ways.
speaking to all of us,
Speaking
you
to all
know,
of us
to
in
all of us at
different
the
ways.
same time. So yeah, it's inspired like that. That verses, it just hits us hard, but
Right.
at that one time with what we're going through. So it's amazing that it does that.
I
but
feel
it
like
does.
that's what it was for. It was written, but it was written for your interpretation. You see what I mean?
Your
Because again, you just said it.
interpretation,
You just
discernment.
hit it right there.
Yeah.
Because like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
different people, but it doesn't mean it's right. You know, it just means
Yeah.
that it's just for you.
Yes.
It doesn't mean your interpretation
Yeah.
is right.
There
It
you
just
go, my
means
bad.
It's right for you.
Yeah, it's right for you at
You-
that
at
time.
that time,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's interpreted correctly, but it just hits you for your meaning at
Right,
that one
at
time,
that one-
for what you're going through at that one moment.
And not
yeah.
necessarily like my meaning may not be what it means for you.
Yes.
You've got to read it for yourself and see if you get that. If you get the same thing, then okay, cool.
Well, if you
But if
don't-
you get a different thing, then well, that's for you.
And if you get it written, don't push it on somebody.
Yeah, because one of the biggest things one of the things I had to learn was telling people about Jesus, right? And I had a big issue with that. I didn't know how to do that. I did, but I didn't like. For instance, one of the biggest things is to just come over there and say, "Hey, you need Romans Road," which is scripture, straight reading scripture, one by one by one by one.
Right.
And I did exactly what they said. It's just reading scripture that John 3:16, which is see, now I'm going blank.
Dang.
I'm on the radio.
Yeah.
I'm on the radio and I'm going blank. But for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. Then you read Romans, which is saying that we're all sinners. Anyways, in Romans, because Romans kept on saying how much we're sinners, right?
Right.
Because Paul wrote that because he talked to Jesus and was studying with Jesus,
Right.
for 3 years, and then he came back and wrote all these books, right?
Right.
Okay. So then I was like, okay, this is how we're supposed to do it. They gave us a book, and you're supposed to go in there and talk to these prisoners. And I was going to prisons. Into the prison with murderers and everything like that.
Right.
And telling them about this and reading this.
Like
to
you're
them.
a sinner.
You're a sinner. You need to get saved. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
And so I come out and nothing changed. I was like, okay. And we were supposed to write on a little tablet on how many people we got that we led to the Lord. And there were like 2 names on my tablet while these guys were coming with a booklet full of them. I was like, what is going on?
Right.
I was like, what am I doing wrong? I mean, why are they not understanding what's going on?
Right.
So then I started. I was like, I'm not breaking it down to where they can understand it. This is stupid what they're giving me to do. I said, I'm throwing it out the window. There's got to be a different way to do this. And so I started listening to this Way of the Master, and he broke it down really easy. It's Kirk Cameron, and I can't remember the other guy that does it with him that came up with it.
Right.
And it made so much sense to me. And I was like, this is how you're supposed to do it. Because Paul did it too. They kept on doing Romans Road, but Paul did this the same first.
Right.
He goes, I didn't know what sin was until I knew the 10 Commandments, which one of them was said, thou shalt not covet. He goes, then I knew I was lusting. So but that's written in Old Testament ways, right?
Right.
So that's Old Testament, knowing what that is. So then I broke it down to where any dummy can understand it.
Right.
Any illiterate, any child can understand it. So I do it like this, and I make it personal.
Right.
Okay. So I'm like, hey, I'm a liar. You ever told a lie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all liars, right?
Right.
All right. You're ever disobeyed your mom and dad?
Always. Every day.
Yeah, me too.
I make a point to it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to establish.
It's a point of pride for him.
I'm trying to establish my alphaness.
I think
It's not working out well, but
It doesn't work out.
I'm pretty much homeless. But still, it's
My mom alphas you, bro.
yeah, she does.
my mom and my hats, you know, I'm dressing like a pimp. I stopped wearing those pimp hats. Okay, so disobey your mom and dad. That's honoring your mother and father. One of
Right.
those. Okay, so still, have you ever stolen before?
Yeah.
Are
I've taken-
there police listening?
Wait,
No.
If
I
you're
mean anything, like even if you stolen a pen from a bank, you take it
again, in the police list,
Again,
if you're a
police
cop,
listening,
then no, I have
then
not.
no, I have not.
But if you're not a cop, hell yeah,
Yeah.
I stole the pen.
Yeah. By the way, Manny, you know that radio that you had? I got a radio that's
got a radio.
just like it for sale. $20, bro.
I'll buy it.
Got you, bro.
I do not need it one.
Got you, bro.
But yeah, so
Yeah, and so the last one I really get him with is murder. Have you ever committed murder? And of course we're in prison.
you're looking around. Is that what the whole CD?
They're like, man, we
Yo,
ain't
son,
gonna miss
son,
that.
I
I'm
go
in prison.
I feel like
snitch,
I'm
son.
trying to fight my case.
I feel like Chef is in there wired up. So you said you what?
Exactly.
Where? Talking into like
Well, legally,
no. Can you talk louder into my chest, please? What?
legally, they said I did.
Legally. Yeah. No.
My charges.
My charges.
Exactly.
But
He was breathing when I left the scene.
it's just- but yeah. But the thing is that, and I said this a long time ago. I think I said it in the last episode that through God or anything is not telling people, showing them love. I make it a point. And if you're from where I'm from, we don't show love. And because that's some people we say the word oh that's gay. Like, hey man, like one of my buddies.
You ever told me you love me, I'd shank him.
And I respect
It'd be
and I have
be
to
a reflex,
respect that.
bro.
I like,
It'd be a reflex, bro.
Hey, bro, I love you. Son of a, I'm sorry.
Sorry, bro. You show weakness. Bro. Can't do that.
Thanks, bro. Always keeping me strong.
Got you, bro. I got
But
you.
like,
Once you get out of the house, we'll hit the gym.
so I have a lot of these friends, and one of my buddies, I'm gonna spill some beans here. One of my buddies, every time he calls me, he'll say I love you. And he's lost his brother. He's lost his he's lost family. And, me too. I lost this year. We lost, family members that, it affected us. And life is too short. So every time I talk to him and I say something, even if he's just calling me hey, we hitting the gym? Yeah. All right, bro. I'll talk to you later. Love you. So I love you too, brother. That's love. God is love, right? I'm showing him that even though that in that little amount of time, you're showing somebody, hey, I care for you. It's like reaching out, talking to them. I care for you.
I'm gonna shank you then too.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro. It was a reflex.
That's
bro.
cool,
It was a
bro.
reflex.
Thanks. You guys, we're in the yard. We can show no weakness.
Exactly.
But talking to them, when my brother needed a ear and he felt alone, there was, I think this happened last week, and it reminded me. I had a flashback when I first was his friend. Yeah, his car broke down. He lost his temper. And this happened last week. He lost his temper in the parking lot because his car.
Yeah, because the car broke.
Cave out.
It was crazy.
And he's just like getting mad, and I'm just like, I didn't say nothing because I don't want to piss him off because I was gonna tell a joke. I was gonna start joking. But then again, why not? And again, isn't that God speaking, telling you, hey man, it's gonna be okay. Mm-hmm. Even though I said it in
I
my,
think he ended up joking afterwards.
even though I said it in my own way, I was like, ha, are you gonna get to work now? Bitch. But again, I'm talking to him, letting him know it's gonna be okay. There's always a way. It may not be the way you want, but there's a way. There's a will. There's a way. Again, showing people that when they need a friend at their toughest time is showing them, hey, I'm here for you. I may not be the friend you want, but you're the friend. I'm the friend you need right now. I mean, I'm not because
God gave you right now.
Really, no. I've always said that. Are we gonna get people that? Oh yeah, no, we want that one fine girls. It's okay, I'm like, no, we're gonna get. You got me.
I may not be the hero that the city deserves.
What's up with this whole?
But I'm the one that he needs.
Why are you? What's up with the voice?
Because I'm Batman.
But you see what I mean? You're showing the person, not because I've met people that will preach at you instead of showing you like, hey, I got you. What do you? Again, I heard you say you help family and get them groceries. You showed them. Again, that was a compassion for human being. That means not only you're supposed to do that, but you show them God sent somebody in this path. And again, and one thing I learned from Sibaki, shout out to him again, he said, things that we go through is never for us, it's for someone else. I didn't know that lesson back then because I was hard-headed. And
that made no sense at the time you told us too.
And it made no sense because I was too busy thinking about me. I was selfish. And I'm guilty for saying this. I said this last time. Sometimes I want to go back to the old me. I want to go back to the old me because being me now, helping the world and giving my heart and with love,
it's harder.
It's harder. People take advantage of me. I haven't ate right. I haven't slept right. Why? Because people need me constantly. But do they need me or they can do it themselves?
Yeah.
See, no.
You can enable people too.
And that's exactly what I'm guilty of.
Yes.
Now, but at the same time, it's just like I should be a good friend, right? And no, it's not. It's okay to say no.
Yes.
Right?
Sometimes you're a better friend by saying no.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So, there's times when God tells you to do something, like it's on your heart. Like Rashad needs $20. I just got to give it to him. Now, what Rashad does with that $20, guess what?
It's up to him.
It's up to him.
Yeah.
That's between him and God. God had told me that one moment that I had to do it.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm out there on the street feeding the homeless, I know not to give out $20 out there because 99.9% of them are going to go buy drugs or alcohol with them.
Right, correct.
Like even with the food that I gave out, like I was giving out snacks that I found out that they were going around the corner with the boxes of snack cakes and trading them in so they can get drugs and alcohol, get money to get drugs and alcohol.
Right.
So then I had to start ripping the UPCs off of it and then handing them to them individually.
Wow.
So you got to be smart too.
But at the same time, so I had this. So I have a tendency to give when I can, where I can, right? If I'm walking in the 7-Eleven and somebody outdoors is like, hey, let me get $20, or hey, can I get a bag of chips or something like that? If I'm able, I do it, no problem, right? No questions asked.
Right.
And that used to that would anger anger someone that I was with. And so because their counter was, well, you don't know if they're going to buy drugs, or you don't know if they're going to do this, or you don't know if, they could be driving off in the mansion or what have you. And my counter to that argument was, it doesn't matter what they do with it. What matters is that I give it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's in my heart. It's in my spirit. It's coming from a place of positivity. If they take that and then do something negative with it, that's not on me anymore.
Right.
I've done my part.
Right.
And I've done this at the same time where it was like, what should I do with it? And so I actually, the person was asking for money, and I was like, no, let me take you into McDonald's and buy the food. And he was like, no, F you, motherfucker. He just walked off because he didn't want the food. He was going to use it for drugs or alcohol. So I was like, all right, dude, later.
Well, you did your
but
part.
that's not on you.
Yeah,
you did your due diligence.
Yeah, so I was willing to buy him the meal, but he was mad whenever I was offering to buy him the meal instead of giving him the money. So, you can always, if it's going to cause a fight or something like that, you can easily just go ahead and tell him to, buy the food for him or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I would do to just keep my significant other off of my back.
But that's but that's if I.
But
if
that's
I
what's
did-
something in your heart, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
If
And
I
they gotta
did-
be okay
yeah.
with that too, you know, saying, hey, this is what I gotta do.
Exactly. That's I'm saying. I wouldn't be me if I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Like I have done that, and I think one time my brother was with me one time where someone needed help, and I was like, hey, this person needs help, let's go help them, and then the person that was driving the vehicle we were in was just like, no, they're okay, and like I felt some sort of way. I'm just like,
Yeah, you were mad about it.
I was mad about it because.
That's not who you are.
That's not who I am. You know what I mean? If I can help you, I will help you.
Yeah.
And I get that because I was not too long ago. There was a car accident by my house, and the dude ran into a completely. It was a horrible accident. But the person that I was with, I was like, "Hey, stop!" And she's like, "No, no." We kept on. I'm like, "No, stop!" Because you don't never know. If that was my brother, if he's in a car accident, is that bad? I want someone to be able to stop for him, save his life. You know. Again, you got to be able to make that sacrifice, but not everybody's about that life. But I wanted to ask you this question while I still can, and this is, what about I was looking at your tattoo and it keeps calling me the image of Jesus. Do you agree with it? Because there was talking that what was the dude that painted the Jesus?
Oh, that one. I think it was it Michelangelo? It was some famous painter.
Well, okay, so
the picture that
now Padre,
that's been
hear me out. Well, they were saying
circling around.
that
the European version of
the
Jesus?
that it was actually his
White Jesus.
the lover, right? Do you agree with the image of Jesus? Is what I'm asking you, like the image that is up, the white Jesus.
No, because he would have been. It says his hair was like wool, so it would have been more like your hair.
Oh, he was a brother. Hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah, it would have been more like wool. If you look like a sheep's wool, it would have been.
That's what the people look like around there.
Yeah, and then if you look like his skin color would have been darker. So he would have been more.
Okay,
probably
yeah. Well,
like a darker Mexican.
That is
or
a touchy
Indian.
subject. Like if you talk like the.
Yeah, he looked like my Tio Chewy.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Because that's the color.
I mean,
That's
but look at who you're talking to. When you talk about Jesus, they were like, no, he was white, blue eyes, and blonde. I'm like,
that's
really?
not what they
Because
describe him as.
nobody.
thank you, Dukes. Dukes shook his head. What about you? What do you think, Dukes? Give me all your opinion.
He could be whatever color, whatever. He could be whatever.
Like it doesn't matter, right?
Right?
Doesn't- Skin color doesn't matter. What he looks like, it doesn't matter. He was a symbol. That's all that matters.
Ooh, he was a Damn, Dukes, you real, bro. But no, because I've had that conversation and people, no, that's Jesus. He's white. No, he wasn't. Like, to who? I mean, we got to look at the history. When you know your history, you know where you're going. That's why earlier I said, you said that we need both the old and the new. You're right.
Yeah.
That's why we need our history. We need to know what we're talking about. Jesus wasn't white. No, I'm sorry.
Was it?
I hate to
No,
break it.
I don't. No.
No, you know what I mean? And when I saw your
And
tattoo, I'm like, that's
especially if he was outside all the time. He was a carpenter. He was walking around all the time.
He was Mexican.
He was dark. Yeah,
dark.
it was
Yeah,
Mexican.
he was dark.
Jesus.
He was a carpenter. Exactly.
Yeah.
I got put that on here.
I'm just saying.
Outside.
I got a Chewy in my construction site right now, bro.
But no, you're right. And
Shout
a
out
lot
to
of-
Jesus.
And a lot of people, like I said, I think I forgot where I read it at, but they were saying that the dude that painted that, the guy that painted, he was painting his actual lover. But and that the king or something commanded everybody. I mean, I gotta send you the story, and I'm butchering it up. But again, know who we're talking about. Know who you idolize. It. Don't worship just any, just anybody.
Yeah.
Again, and a lot of people, that's a touchy subject. One more question: do you believe that religion, or is it religion, should be in politics? Like how so I was watching.
Like the politicians.
I was watching last night when they were saying, "Oh, this dumbass was saying, God sent Donald Trump," and I believe that. I mean, people need to stop using religion.
Like the reason why Donald Trump was.
Well, our
president was 'cause-
Constitution was based on the Bible, but
Right.
I mean, they're like what that idiot said. No, I mean.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like,
That's.
do you
I
believe
mean, that was just the best candidate that was there. I mean,
At that time.
for the Republican Party at that time, that's what they chose.
But you
know,
see how
do
they
it-
always
Necessarily
use.
that
Yeah.
Jesus put him in.
Yeah,
power, right.
Yeah, I mean, he was in power at that time, but could there have been a better candidate? Yeah, I
No
definitely
doubt.
think so. You know,
But do you think that they should, people like that should be still, even when like the whole rioting thing happened where they were storming the Capitol, they were still using religion, God sent us this, God sent that. People have a tendency of just using God and this stuff, and you know what I mean, in the politics.
like throwing them out there.
Yeah,
you know, to
like they'll quote
justify
the
what they're
Bible
doing.
when they were saying, "Oh, you need to obey all the law," or what was it?
Oh, you need to obey the laws because, what was it?
But yeah, I know what you're talking. But they also say, "Love thy neighbor," right? So,
Bro, like,
I mean, they only read some of it, but they don't follow it.
you know, another reason, because I know you do this too, where you show people that you're a Christian before they know that you're a Christian. Like, I know you do that too. I do that as well. You know, each one teach one, and just through your actions and being yourself, you've probably brought more people to Christianity than, someone in a pulpit. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is that as a disciple, I consider myself a disciple of Jesus. Jesus had 2 commandments: love God, love people. So, if you do those 2 things, everything else really takes care of itself. I mean, don't you think so?
That's what he said. Love God first, and then love thy neighbor as thyself.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, that don't mean some of your neighbors. I mean,
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, because honestly, unless somebody's insane, you're not going to try to kill yourself, really. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that's really got mental issues that's going to do something like that. But, a normal person is not going to sit there and punch themselves in the face. So why would you punch somebody else?
Why would you punch someone?
You know what I'm saying? Well, would you want somebody storming your house? So why would you storm the Capitol?
Right. Ooh.
It's common sense. Why would you do something?
Again, common sense is a superpower.
Yeah.
And people, I keep telling that. People don't believe that. Or people think it's a joke. No, common sense is a superpower.
Yeah, you would
Not
wanna
everybody
treat
is
others.
blessed with it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I think we should be doing something better with the border because those people want to come over here, and I know they need a place. I know it's better here, but we need to handle that better.
Well,
You know what I'm
actually,
saying?
with that being said, it goes back to their it's where they're from. Like they need to take it up again. That's a whole nother story, but we're out of time.
Yeah.
But
Man, it goes by quick,
it
doesn't
goes so quick, and I had a good point for this. But Padre, how can they reach you? Or how can they want to talk to you?
Yes.
How can they reach you?
Just on Facebook, Junior Alfred Ramirez. That's
Just
my,
on Facebook.
That's my only thing that I do.
You don't have no Instagram, no Twitter, no
OnlyFans,
no
no
pitching,
nothing.
no cacao, no none of that.
None of that.
I think he does
I don't
smoke
think
signals
so.
on the weekend.
No,
Yeah,
so
no.
say it again. What is it?
Junior Alfred Ramirez.
All righty,
Yes.
on Facebook. What about you, brother?
Hit us up on the Cancer Show. We got our Facebook. We got our whack glasses that he wears all the time. We got our YouTube. We're gonna be our old episodes are up on YouTube. We're also on we're on Spotify,
TikTok.
Oh yes, we got our TikTok. We're gonna be doing one tonight. Check out our Patreon. We got if you want to sponsor our shows. Please do. We appreciate you listening to us. And shout out to us if you have any ideas for shows or anything like that.
I want to be a guest.
You want to be a guest? We're open to that. That'd be awesome. If you want to have El Padre return again, hit us up.
Yeah, he will be returning because we got a part 3 to the other part 2. I mean,
Part
but
2
other than that,
to
hey,
the-
thank you for watching. Hey, shout out to my boy Dukes behind the mics. Much
Thank
love
you,
to you.
Dookie.
Remember, if you don't like what you listen, change the channel. You're smart enough to change it. If not, kiss ass.
If we've offended you, we meant to. If we haven't offended you, just wait. We'll get to you. And in the words of a wise man, don't be a dick.
Peace.
Yeah. They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. But they ain't got what's running through these veins. Say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. But they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king.